The world, and especially Instagram, is screaming at you constantly. Be more. Do more. Own more. Look better. And then you'll be happy. But what if this entire approach is wrong? What if more gym sessions, productivity hacks, journaling rituals, dopamine detoxes, cold plunges, biohacking stacks, and self-help books are just masturbation in disguise? Here's what I've learned. Life doesn't respond to perfection. It responds to courage. And most of what we call self-improvement is actually a clever way to avoid facing our deepest fears. It's a way to control life, not surrender to it. And sometimes, what you really need is not one more habit tracker, but to go under, to let go of the false self, to destroy the identity that's keeping you stuck, to face the pain, to become dangerous again. Let me explain. There's this famous line in Fight Club where Tyler Durden says, "Self-improvement is masturbation. Now, self-destruction." But self-destruction? Really? Spit on everyone and die in a gutter? Is that what we're going for? Of course not. What Tyler really meant, whether he knew it or not, was something closer to Nietzsche's concept of going under. Or as Nietzsche put it, what is great in man is that he is a bridge and not a goal. I love those who know not how to live, except as downgoing, for they are the overgoers. Downgoing is not self-sabotage. It's not giving up. It's not playing victim. It is the voluntary sacrifice of who you are now, in service of who you could become. It's shedding the skin that's suffocating you. It's burning the old tower to the ground. And it's terrifying. But without it, you'll never cross the sea. You'll never reach the promised land of your full potential. Imagine two towers. The first is your current life. It's built on everything you know, your routines, your identity, your addictions, your coping mechanisms. It has a productivity floor, a dopamine detox spa, a sex dungeon of escapism, and a balcony of dreams you never step onto. Underneath it all, a sea of fear, shadows, death, the unknown. Now imagine across that sea another tower, a taller, brighter, freer one. A life of strength, love, joy, truth. A life your soul recognizes instantly, but your ego fears. To get there, you must go down. You must descend into the basement of your being, face the monsters you've buried, confront your deepest truths, and let go of the comforts that keep you safe but small. All true transformation begins in that descent. Most people, even the self-improvement junkies, are actually just avoiding this descent. They do everything except the one thing that actually matters. They read books instead of having the hard conversation. They take ice baths instead of facing their loneliness. They perfect morning routines instead of building the life their heart screams for. It's all scaffolding. Nice-looking, clever scaffolding on a crumbling tower. And here's the crazy part. Almost no one notices. Why? Because everyone else is doing the same thing. We glorify hustle. We glorify clean eating. We glorify aesthetic minimalism and dopamine detoxing. But very few glorify facing the chaos inside you. Very few glorify courage. Let me be clear. Cold plunges are fine. Lifting weights is great. Discipline is noble. But if you still haven't faced the addiction you've been hiding, if you still haven't spoken your truth, if you still haven't acted on your deepest calling, then your entire self-help stack is just armor around your fear. Your heart is trying to speak to you. It doesn't give rational instructions. It gives feeling, whispers, visions, and it usually points directly at the thing that scares the hell out of you. Your heart knows what tower you're meant to build. But first, you have to go down. Face what you're avoiding. Let yourself die a little. Only then does rebirth become possible. To live like this, to become a downgoer, is to live dangerously. To sacrifice comfort for truth. To choose fear over numbness. Nietzsche admired those who made their lives a living sacrifice to transformation. who died many small deaths, who gave up who they were over and over to become something more. I love him whose soul is so overfull that he forgets himself, and all things are in him, thus all things become his going under. In other words, the greater your descent, the greater your becoming. Most of us try to skip this part. We want success without loss, love without heartbreak, growth without resistance. But that's not how nature works. All real change requires pain. And the stronger the pain, the greater the truth it hides. Let me give you a few real examples. Leaving college to start my own path? Terrifying but exhilarating. Ending a long-term relationship I deeply loved? Devastating but necessary. Writing a book? 2 years of doubt and fear but transformative. Quitting addictions that ran my adult life? I didn't even know who I was without them. Each of these was a downgoing. Each felt like a death. Each broke me. And each one led to more joy, more freedom, and more power than anything else ever could. You see, the heart always leads us into hell before it gives us heaven. Charles Bukowski once said, "Stop insisting on clearing your head. Clear your goddamn heart instead." Most people are trying to fix themselves. Or, worse, escape themselves. But what you really need is to sacrifice yourself not in some sadistic way, but in a courageous one. Sacrifice who you think you are for who you might become. Kill the small you. Shed the old skin. That's what Nietzsche meant by downgoing. That's what Dionysus represented. Not chaos for chaos' sake, but ecstatic, terrifying, holy transformation. So ask yourself, what truth have you been avoiding? What calling have you been ignoring? What tower are you clinging to that needs to fall? That's your downgoing. You don't need to be better. You need to be more dangerous, more courageous, more alive. You don't need another self-help book. You need to walk into the cave that scares you. You need to burn the scaffolding and rebuild your life on the foundation of truth. Because that's where the real transformation begins. Not with fake discipline, not with empty habits, but with the death of who you were. Only the downgoers become the overgoers. And if you're willing to go under, to bleed a little, to face the fire, then trust me, your entire life will bloom with new power.